Welcome to RKD Chemistry Academy channel. Today we are going to recapitulate once again model and periodic table which was discussed in last class. According to mostly we have 7 periods, those are rows, and 18 groups, those are vertical columns. In these 7 periods and 18 groups mostly arranged elements with respect to Aufbau principle. According to Aufbau principle, the least energy main shell n equal to 1 is filled in first period. By that reason we have only two elements in the first period. In second period we have to fill 2s and 2p subshells. For that reason in second period we have 8 elements. In third period also we have 8 elements. In fourth period we have 18 elements. Why? Because in fourth period we have to fill 4s subshell, 3d subshell and 4p subshell. In 4s we have 2 electrons, 3d we have 6 electrons, 10 electrons, and 4p we have 6 electrons. Total 18 electrons are present in these subshells. So we can fill 18 elements in the fourth period. Next comes to fifth period. In this also we have to fill 5s and 4d and 5p subshells like fourth period. Again we have 18 elements in this period. Comes to sixth period. In the sixth period, according to Aufbau principle, we have to fill 6s, 4f, 5d and 6p respectively by the electrons. When we calculate the electrons, the total number of electrons are 32. So in this sixth period also we have 32 elements. Comes to seventh period. In the seventh period also we have fill 7s and 5f, 6d and 7p orbitals, but which is incomplete itself. So this is the incomplete period. So the last electron which is coming to outermost shell is called differentiating electron. According to differentiating electron, we can decide the black of that element. In first period, the electrons are entering into 1s orbital. So the first period elements both are S black elements. So in first period we have S black elements. In second period we have to fill in 2s 2 electrons, means lithium third electron is filled in 2s. Lithium third electron is filled in 2s, and beryllium fourth electron is filled also in 2s. So we have to fill 2 electrons for lithium and beryllium, the valency differentiating electron in s orbital only. So we have s black elements and p black elements also in the second period. In third period also we have S black and P black elements. In fourth period we have S black and P black and D black elements also there. In fifth period also we have S black, P black and D black. And sixth and seventh period, besides SP, D blacks, we have F black also. F black elements also. Comes to periodic table. If we study the groups according to groups. This is the first group, which is called alkali metal group. In this alkali metal group, hydrogen electron configuration is 1s1, lithium electron configuration 1s2, 2s1, sodium electron configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1. Means the last electron means what? Differentiating electron is present in S subshell, and the general valence electron configuration is ns1. Why? Because for all elements we are filling one electron as differentiating electron in S subshell. So the general valence electron configuration for alkali metals is ns1, and general valence electron configuration for second A group elements is ns2. Comes to p block elements. These are what? P block elements, because from boron family to 0 group family, the differentiating electron will enter into p block. For example, if you observe boron 5, 1s2, 2s2 and 2p1. For boron 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. For carbon 6, 1s2, its beside element 2p2. In this also the valence electron is entering into p subshell. So from boron family to 0 group family, the differentiating electron is entering in these groups in p subshell only. Why? The reason these are called p block elements, and this S block, first two groups S block elements, and these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these 6 groups are p block elements, combinedly mostly divided and denoted as A type of groups. A type of groups means what? First group is called first A group, second group is called second A group. According to IUPAC, we have 18 groups, means this is what? First group, second group, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 groups. But mostly S block elements and P block elements combinedly belongs to type A groups, means according to mostly first period in IUPAC is called first A group, second period is called second A group, and 13th first group is called first A group, second group is called second A group, and 13th group, that is in IUPAC, it is called what? 3A group, and 5th A group, 6th A group, and 7th A group, and 8th A group. Between S and P blocks we have D block elements. Those are the D block elements are from 3 to 12. 3 to 12. These D block elements are 3B, 4B, 5B. These D block elements are divided are classified with B type of group elements according to mostly. 3rd B, 4th B, 5th B, 6th B, 7th B, and 8th B. In 8th B we have IUPAC groups 8, 9, 10, and after that 11th group in IUPAC is called first B, 12th group is called second B. Comes to P block elements, the general valence electron configuration for 3rd A group is NS2 NP1, and 4th A group is NS2 NP2, and the valency configuration of 5th A group is NS2 NP3, and for 6th A group NS2 NP4, and 5th A group 7th A group NS2 NP5, and for 0 group it is NS2 NP6. NS2 NP6. And the S and P block elements combinedly called as representative elements. Why? Because most of the reactions are chemical reactions are due to S and P block elements. So these S and P block elements are representatives of the periodic table. By this reason, these S and P block elements are called representative elements. And transition elements. Transition elements means the penultimate shell of an element is not filled completely, then that element is called transition element. Penultimate shell of not filled with completely, that is called transition element. The transition elements general electronic configuration is NS129 and N-1D129 NS2. Transition elements, all transition elements are D block elements only. D block elements general electronic configuration is N-1D1210 NS122. Means this is N-1 shell means what? This is penultimate shell which comes before outermost shell. Here N is outermost shell, N-1 is penultimate shell. If the penultimate shell is not filled completely, then the D block element is called transition element. All these things are studied in last class only. Okay. Now we are going to predict the period number and group number of an elemental of an atom of an element. Predicting the period number and group number of an atom of an element. In general, the period number is nothing but what? Of an element is nothing but the number of main shells which are present in that atom. If we write the electron configuration, of an atom, then if we calculate the number of main shells, that is equal to period number. And we don't need to calculate the number of main shells. If we write the electron configuration, the highest main shell number is called period number. After writing the electron configuration of an atom, if we observe what is the highest main shell number, that is the period number of that element. Very easy. Take it. Carbon 6, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, and take potassium 19, 1s2, 2s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s1. By observing this one, the valency electron is present in 4s for potassium. For carbon, the valence electron present in 2p2, not 2p6, 2p2, 2p shell. And for this, main shell is highest main shell number is n equal to, for this highest potassium, highest main shell number is 4. So potassium belongs to 4th period and carbon belongs to second period. Now, so once again I am giving you clarity that the period number is nothing but the highest main shell number which is present in that atom. It will be obtained or knowing by the writing of electronic configuration of that atom. Now comes to group number. The group number will be predicted for S black elements. If we write the electronic configuration, the valence electron configuration is NS1 or NS2. Then the S black element which has valence electron configuration as NS1 means n starts with 1, ends with 7 for first group elements. So the group number is first A, or in IUPAC it is first group. In general the group number is first A, 1A, or IUPAC first group. If the valence electron configuration is obtained like NS2, the group is what? Second A group or second group. Comes to P block. Comes to P block. The P block elements group number will be obtained by adding S electrons which are present in outermost shell and P electrons present in outermost shell plus 10 according to, then you can get the group number according to IUPAC, you will get IUPAC group number. Why I am telling here means, for example, comes to nitrogen atomic number is 7, 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. The S electrons number is 2, the P electrons number is 3. Then if we add these 2 plus 3, we will get 2 plus 3, 5 by plus 10 means what? 15. Means nitrogen also belongs to 15th group only. See here, nitrogen also belongs to 15th group only. Why? Because why it is happening means, we have 10 D black elements. By that reason only we are adding here plus 10. So P black elements group number equal to, if you write the electronic configuration of any P black element, what is P black element? If the differentiating electron enter into the P orbital, then that element belongs to P block. To know the group of P block element, after writing electron configuration of that element of which belongs to P block, we should calculate or we should count the number of S electrons and P electrons in valence shell and add them. For this number again you add plus 10, then you will get the P block elements group number according to IUPAC. IUPAC. 15th group is nothing but what? 50A group. 15th group is nothing but what? 50A group. 50A group. Now we are going to find out the group number of D block elements. D block elements. For D block elements, group number is equal to ns, the electrons present in ns orbital plus the electrons present in n-1d subshell, n-1d subshell. Then you will get the group number. For example, scandium is there. Scandium. What is the atomic number of scandium? Is 21. If you write the electron configuration, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d1. According to this formula is nothing but what? If you observe the periodic table very keenly, you will get idea about this formula. The number of electrons present in S subshell, which is outermost shell, plus the electrons present in the penultimate shell, that is n-1 subshell, which is D here. When we add these two number of electrons, we will get the group number of D block elements. So 2 plus 1. So S electrons are 2, D electrons are 1. 2 plus 1 means what? 3. No doubt, if you observe the D block element, that is scandium, belongs to which group? Observe the scandium D block element belongs to third group only. So that is also called what? Third B group. So here also we got that. You take chromium 24. Its electron configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s1, 3d5. The s electrons are 1 and d electrons are 5 in valency shell for chromium. So the group number now becomes 6. Chromium. See here. The chromium which is belongs to sixth group only. So for D block elements, to find out the group number, after writing its electron configuration, we should add the electrons present in outermost shell, that is S subshell, and penultimate shell, that is D subshell. Then we will get the group number of the D block elements. F block elements means period is F block elements are in two series. One is 4f series, another one is 5f series. 4f series are called lanthanides, 5f series are called actinides. No doubt these two 4f series lanthanides are present in sixth period. Let's observe 4f series. Lanthanides are after lanthanum in sixth period. We are getting in sixth period 14 elements from cesium 58 to lutetium 61, 14 elements which are called lanthanides. These 14 elements also present in third B group only. And after actinium in seventh period, we have thorium 92, lawrencium 103. These 14 elements also, actinide elements also present in seventh period and third B group. So third B group is the longest group in the periodic table, and lanthanides and actinides, which are F block elements, respectively present in 6th period and 7th period, and lanthanides and actinides group, F black elements group is third B. Okay. After completion of discussion of predicting the group number and period number of S and SP, D and F black elements, now we should discuss about trends of periodic properties in groups and periods. The periodic properties, now we are going to discuss how they are changed in groups and periods are atomic radius, ionization energy, electron affinity, electronegativity and non-metallic character, electropositivity and metallic character. Electronegativity property is the characteristic property of nonmetals. By this reason, these two will change in groups and periods in same way only. First comes to atomic radius. Atomic radius will be increased. Atomic radius will be increased in groups from top to bottom. Why? Because in hydrogen we can fill electron in its valency shell in 1s. The valence electron will be filled. It has only one electron, but it is filled in 1s. Comes to lithium, the valence electron will be filled in 2s. That is only one electron. First group elements have only one electron in their valence shell, 2s. After that we will fill valence electron for sodium is 3s. After that we will fill valence electron for potassium 4s. Means what? Gradually as we move top to bottom in a group, one main shell is increased. That leads to increase in the size of the atoms in group top to bottom. As size will be increased in groups top to bottom, in groups atomic size will be increased. G means groups, here indication, and upward arrow marking it is increased. As atomic size increased, the nuclear attraction force over the electrons, valence electrons will be decreased. Then what happens? Ionization energy will be decreased in groups. Ionization energy will be decreased. As size increased, the distance between nucleus and outermost electrons will be increased. As distance increases, the nuclear attraction force over the valence electrons will be decreased. Then what happens? We can easily remove the outermost electron from the atom in groups when we move top to bottom in groups. What is ionization energy? Ionization energy is the removal energy of an electron from the neutral gaseous atom, which will be measured in kilojoules per mole or kilocalories per mole. Comes to electron affinity. It is also changed in the same way as ionization energy. Electron affinity means when we add an electron to the outermost orbital of an element, some amount of energy will be released. The released energy is called electron affinity. Here also the atom must and should be in neutral gaseous state when we are adding an electron to the atom's outermost orbit. Comes to electronegativity. Electronegativity means what? Electronegativity is the tendency of atom which attracts the electrons. The tendency of the elements which will attracting the electrons will become less. Why? Because atomic size is increased. The nucleus, as atomic size increases from top to bottom in a group, the nuclear attraction force to gain the electrons will be decreased. Means what? The gaining ability of electrons is called electronegativity. Electronegativity is decreased. And electronegativity, gaining ability of electrons, is the characteristic property of non-metallic elements. So, non-metallic character also decreased in groups. Electropositivity, this is opposite property to the electronegativity. Which one? Electropositivity. The losing ability of electrons by an element is called electropositivity. Electropositivity will be increased. Why? Because as the size increases top to bottom in a group, the nuclear attraction force over the valence electrons will be decreased. Then they will lose electrons easily by the minimum amount of ionization energy. So, losing ability will be increased, means electropositivity will be increased. The losing ability of electrons is called electropositivity. The losing ability is the characteristic property for metals. So, metallic property also increased in groups. Now, we should discuss the same periodic properties in periods, how they are changing. No doubt, the periodic properties which are increasing in the periods, those will be decreased in the periodic properties which will be increased in groups, those will be decreased in periods. Why? Because the phenomena will be changed. The total effects will be opposite, will become opposite to the groups. Let's observe whatever it may be the reasons. By observing, in first period we are filling only first main shell, that is n. In first period we are filling only first main shell, that is n equal to 1. In second period n equal to, third period n equal to 3. In fourth period n equal to 4. Means what? There is no change in the main shell. There is no change in the main shell in a particular period. So, what is happening here means, in periods, the nucleus is at the center of atom only, which contains protons and neutrons. And around this, the main shell is not, the main shell is constant. Main shell is constant. In this main shell, gradually, when we move left to right in a periodic table, the number of electrons will be increased. As number of electrons in a main shell increased in period, in a particular period, when we move left to right, the number of protons also increased. Then what happens? The nuclear attraction force over the electrons will be increased. Then what happens? As we move left to right in period, atomic size will be decreased. Atomic size will be decreased. In periods, atomic size will be decreased. The reason is, there is no change in the main shell in a particular period. When we move left to right, the number of electrons in main shell as well as the number of protons in the nucleus will be increased. But the extent of attraction by the nucleus on electrons will not be changed. Means what? The nuclear attraction force over the valence electrons will be increased. Means the valence electrons will move somehow towards the nucleus. By this region, what happens? The atomic size will be decreased in periods. As atomic size decreased, what happens? The nuclear attraction force over the valence electrons will be increased. Then the removal of an electron from outermost shell will become more difficult. So it needs more ionization energy. So in periods, ionization energy will be increased. Electron affinity also increased in periods. Electron affinity also increased. Comes to electronegativity. Size increased means the nucleus is attracting electrons, whatever it may be, present in outermost shell or newly coming electrons in vigorous way. So electronegativity character in periods will be increased. Electronegativity increased means non-metallic character also increased. The losing ability will be decreased. So in periods, electropositivity will be decreased. Metallic character will be decreased. Metallic character will be decreased. As we observe this from the periodic table also, we will understand what happens. Gradually the number of metals will be decreased from left to right. Left to right. Non-metals are present in the right side of the periodic table. Metals are present in the left side of the periodic table. Here one thing is that electronegativity according to Millikan, the is equal to average value of electron affinity and ionization energy. According to Millikan, electronegativity is equal to ionization energy of that element and electron affinity of that element. Both will be added and divided by 2. That means average of the electron affinity and ionization energy of particular element is equal to its that atom's electronegativity only. And according to Linus Pauling, electronegativity will be measured according to bond energies. What is bond energy? If we break any chemical bond, some amount of energy will be released. That energy is called bond energy. According to Linus Pauling, electronegativity of certain element will be measured on the basis of bond energies. He calculated electronegativities by taking electronegativity of hydrogen equal to 2.2. According to Linus Pauling, electronegativity of all elements will be measured according to their bond energies, and he calculated electronegativities of elements by taking hydrogen electronegativity as 2.2, and electron affinity values of halogens or chlorine is greater than fluorine, bromine, iodine. This is the order of electron affinity. Chlorine has more electron affinity compared to fluorine. Why? Because it's this is due to more electrons present in the chlorine. More electrons present in the chlorine, and its size is less. By that reason, electron repulsions are more in chlorine compared to fluorine. So when we add electron to the chlorine, the released amount of energy is more compared to fluorine. By this reason, chlorine has more electron affinity. Okay, now we are going to discuss about affecting factors of ionization energy. Ionization energy is the energy which is useful to remove an electron from the outermost orbital of neutral gaseous atom, which will be measured in kilocalories per mole or kilojoules per mole. How nuclear charge will be affect the ionization energy? Generally, nuclear charge and ionization energy both are directly proportional to each other. As nuclear charge increased, nucleus means what? Nucleus means which has protons and neutrons. So nucleus has positive charge, it will attract electrons. When nucleus attract electrons more, when nuclear charge is more means nucleus is attracting electrons which are present in outermost shell by strong way, then it is difficult to, then it will become difficult to remove electron by using least amount of energy, that is ionization energy. So as nuclear charge increased, ionization energy also increased. For example, if it comes to sodium and sodium plus. To remove electron from sodium is easy compared to remove electron from sodium plus. Why? Because in sodium we have 11 electrons and 11 protons, but in sodium plus we have only 10 electrons, but protons are 11 only. Here 11 protons are attracting 11 electrons, here 11 protons are attracting 10 electrons. Here nucleus attraction force is more in case of Na plus. Why? Because more protons, one proton is extra more compared to number of electrons in Na plus. So the nuclear attraction force is more, so the ionization energy is also more for sodium plus compared to sodium to remove from their an electron from their outermost shell. The removal energy from the sodium is called first ionization energy, and the removal energy of an electron from the unipositive ion, that is like Na plus, is called second ionization energy. IE1 is greater than, IE1 is less than IE2. Next comes to screening effect or shielding effect. For example, if you observe first group, hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, as we move from top to bottom in a group, gradually what happens, number of main shells will be increased. In lithium, for example, you take it is the outermost shell of lithium, and take this is outermost shell of cesium. The distance between nucleus and outermost shell of lithium is less, and there is no main shell is present between nucleus and outermost shell of lithium. But when you observe about cesium, the distance between nucleus and outermost shell of cesium will more, and as well as there are some main shells are presenting between nucleus and outermost shell of cesium, which are behaving like shields or screens and protecting the outermost electrons of cesium from the nucleus attraction forces. So what happens when these are acting like shields, the removal of an electron from the outermost orbital of cesium will become easy, so when compared to lithium. So lithium ionization energy is more compared to cesium. Why? Because in cesium we have more number of main shells which are present between outermost shell of cesium and nucleus. Those will protecting the nuclear attraction force on the outermost electrons of cesium. Next comes to penetrating power. Penetrating power means the orbitals which are coming near to the nucleus. No doubt, when we observe n equal to 4 main shell, in this we have 4s, 4p, 4d, 4f subshells. Among these four subshells, we have penetrating power is more for 4s, means what, 4s subshell is near to the nucleus, and after that 4p, 4d, 4f, means the orbital or subshell which is near to the nucleus is attracted by the nucleus in vigorous way or in strong way. Then the removal of electron from the orbital which has more penetrating power become difficult. So the penetrating power is in this order: for these subshells. So the removal energy, ionization energy also in this order only. Next stable configuration comes to nitrogen 7, oxygen 8. Nitrogen configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p3, and oxygen configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. When we compare these two electron configurations, the p orbitals are filled in nitrogen by half. According to Max Planck quantum theory, half-filled orbitals or full-filled orbitals will give stability to the atom. So nitrogen has more stability when compared to oxygen. So to remove an electron from the outermost orbital of stable atom is difficult. So ionization energy will become more. So nitrogen ionization energy is more compared to oxygen. This is one example. If any element has stable electron configuration, from that element atom, to remove an electron from its outermost shell will become difficult. Atomic size. As atomic size increased, ionization energy decreased. Why? Because nuclear attraction forces over the valence electrons will be decreased. As atomic size will be increased, nuclear attraction force over the valence electrons will be decreased. Then we can easily remove